Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. Trying to get another podcast out this month. September's been pretty bare where that's concerned. But I had to come on and I don't even know where to begin. You guys know, well, most of you guys know, since I've had this podcast, I speak out and up about a lot of different things. Some things I tend to stay quiet on until I learn more about him. I am definitely a person that wants to speak intelligently on something, and if I don't know enough about the subject or I haven't really deep dived into certain things, I won't speak on it until I have a better grasp of what's happening. To see the news about Jimmy Kimmel, and let me just say this, I am not going to sit here and say I'm a super fan of a lot of different public figures and things like that, and he's had his controversies in the past, and there's been many different things that we have not liked, or that I would just speak for myself, that I have not liked about public figures, celebrities, or whatever the case may be. They're human beings, they make mistakes, they go through things. Unfortunately, when you have that target on your back, it makes you much more susceptible to public criticism because you live a very public life. So this isn't specifically a Jimmy Kimmel issue. This is a censorship issue. And one thing you guys know about me is that I speak up and I speak openly and honestly about so many different things that affect me directly, things that affect friends around me, whatever the case may be. I am very much a person who wants to see the little guy win. I built my business on that, of small businesses and helping those small businesses, because I'm a small business myself, but also giving them tools and helping them learn that you can fly even at a small level and scale up and build. You don't have to have the $100,000 budget to get going. You just have to get started. And sometimes, if, let's say, even as a content creator, you're on your smartphone every day. If you have the new iPhone, you got the new Android, whatever, your camera on your phone is spectacular. And you can create amazing content. I also talked about batch recording. If you are a podcaster or even YouTubers, batch record your videos and then set them up to release, over time. I'm definitely getting back into the batch recording, because that was a way for me to have like 2 months worth of content, and I set them up to debut on specific days. I can do that on my podcast. I can do that on YouTube, posting and things like that for social media, all of that, batch create, batch record, however you want to say it. Censorship is a big deal to me. A lot of you know that my background is in media, with a degree in journalism, so I am a legit writer. I've written for magazines, I've written for newspapers, I've written for myself, I've had journals, and I actually have a book that I'm working on as well. So I've done things in this space, and to think that I would not be able to express myself the way that I choose to is unbelievable to me. Now, let me just say this. When you say certain things, and that's the great thing about America, you can pretty much say whatever you want. You can express yourself however you want. It doesn't mean that it's without consequences. But when you go out of your way to censor what someone is saying, meaning you are telling this person that they can't say what they're saying, because they're going to try to flip this and say that, well, there's consequences. You can say whatever you want, but you're going to suffer the consequences. This is a little bit more than that. This is censorship in its purest form. You're literally saying to someone, oh, you can't say that. And we need you to apologize. And we need you to donate money to said organization or whatever the case may be. You guys can Google it and you can see the stipulations that they are putting on Kimmel for him to do. And I don't even know if that's going to get him back in the good graces or whatever. And quite frankly, if that's what I had to do to get back in the good graces, honey, you'll be waiting a long time. You could wait for that apology. You could wait for that donation. Okay? Because you ain't never going to see it. Sometimes when God puts you in this type of space, and I don't know anything personally about Kimmel and his background and all of that, but sometimes God pulls you out of things for a reason. And maybe this was the example that needed to happen because, I mean, let's be honest, Kimmel, very comfortable in the position that he was in. You may like his comedy, you may not like his comedy, doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is he's had his show for a very long time and he's been in the business for a very long time. He's a seasoned veteran in this business. Now, he has made his mistakes. You can Google things and you can see, the different things that have gone on. I'm not speaking to his character. I'm speaking to censorship. And I don't think that anybody should be censored, even the people who say evil things. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, you say evil things or you want to call me the N-word or anything like that, bring it on. Listen, I would rather know the real you than for you to talk under your breath. Don't feel like you ever need to talk under your breath around me, okay? You can come up to me and you can say things and you can pull me to the side and say things or express yourself however you would like to verbally, respectfully express yourself. If there's something you feel that you don't like that I've done or said or whatever the case may be, pull me to the side and let's talk about it. Never afraid of a conversation. But what you're not going to do is tell me what I can and cannot say. This is why I am very big on, I know that everybody's not going to be an entrepreneur, but I am very big on people having some kind of other hustle or side hustle, as they say, in addition to their jobs. Because when that job is ready to get rid of you because they don't like what you did or they don't like what you say or whatever the case may be, where it's an opinion situation, not germane to the actual position that you're working in. Obviously, if a job needs you to hit certain points and markets and, all that sort of stuff, then that's what you need to do because that's entailed with the job. But once you start giving an opinion about something and they don't like it, what are they going to do? Are they going to try to consider and say, okay, well, this is a difference of opinion, but here we are. But when they start taking away your livelihood, when they start doing all of these retaliation, because this is retaliation. This isn't even like, well, there's consequences for things. First of all, the things that they're saying that he said, he didn't even say. That's another thing. And there's so many people going around saying, well, he said this and he said that. I'm like, did y'all watch the video? Listen, comedians are speaking through a lot of times their observations, sometimes their pain, whatever it is. Comedians bring a certain level to the entertainment business that has always been revered as, I don't want to say untouchable, but to the point that they can get away with more. And we kind of look to them to speak and say the things that we probably are too afraid to say. Comedians have always walked that line. And Kimmel is no different, you know. I'm shocked at the level of censorship, at the level of this kissing of the ring that all of these large entities are doing, because they are afraid of what? I don't know. Because there's power in the people. If we go to the polls in November and decide that we don't want XYZ person in their position anymore, you have the power to change that. I mean, I don't know why people think they don't have power in this country. We've seen it. We saw it last election. The people said, we are tired of Democrats or whatever the case may be, and we're going to put who we want in office. And the people who don't want these sort of things to happen are not even showing up to vote. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain things can't happen to you if you really show up. And what's happening is a lot of people are not showing up. And it's allowing things like this to happen. Because this is a huge corporate mess right now. People are scrambling like crazy. I saw an article that says Disney stock has dropped nearly $4 billion with a B, dollars after Kimmel's suspension. That is insane. And if anything, anyone in this media business should know, if you have that type of effect. Oh, what did Fat Joe say? He said, yesterday's price is not today's price. Okay? Because if you have the effect of $4 billion and stocks plummeting overnight, or you're going to have to come to me with a really great deal. I'm going to need my name on the paperwork, on the building at that point. And then it should really show you, do you really need these conglomerates to be successful? I will never down large organizations and what they have brought to the table. It's amazing, you know, when I see people winning awards and this, that, and the other. But let me tell you something. I've seen some people win awards, especially even in the music industry. I see people winning Grammys and they chirp like birds, like a sick bird, okay? But then you watch shows like American Idol or The Voice and you hear these amazing talents and you're like, where were you hiding all this time? How were you not discovered? And some people just do not have the means to be seen. They don't have an agent. They don't have a manager. Can't afford an agent. Can't afford a manager. Well, I was saying, you know, it's tough. But when you begin to start to do things like this and start censoring people and start, because really it's about control. That authoritarian or whatever the word is. That level of control starts the decline of a society where people cannot have respectful discourse. It's the beginning of the decline of any society all over the world. I know there are other countries who go through this every day. Dictatorships are how they are run. The U.S. is not really used to that. We're not used to monarchies and things. We're used to going to the polls and make our voices heard and all of this. And the folks who went to the poll to make their voices heard, which put this administration in charge, they are now sitting back like, oh my gosh, what did we do? Now there are many that I have seen. I don't know about most, but many are kicking themselves. I saw a report, and I wish I knew what the actual full report was, but it was a clip that I saw on social media where a woman was saying all of the workers on her family's farm are scared to come to work because they don't want they don't want them to be at work and their farm gets raided by ICE. And she said that we have no one working the farm. She's like, we will be bankrupt in less than a year. And we're talking about a multi-million-dollar farm. And all the things that they produce on this farm. This is not some, rinky-dink farm, down in some little county somewhere. This is a major farm connected to lots of manufacturing. And the workers are no longer showing up to work because they are afraid of backlash from ICE, deportation, all these different things. It is crazy to me that we've come to this place. I will be honest with you. I feel there should be a path to citizenship. I do not think that people who are following the rules and following the law should be treated that way. Can we open our door to every single person? Of course not. I don't think there's a country that can do that. But there has to be some sort of program put into place so that we can get hardworking, good people who are contributing to society in a positive way and to this country. There has to be some type of plan in place to get them into legal status. I'm definitely on board for something like that. I don't know how much work that's going to take because this is not my exact arena, but rounding up people in streets and running around trying to grab people is I don't know a lot about the subject, but that way is just not working. It's not working. It's creating a sort of society that is just unsavory in every way. And this country has been down this road before, and I feel like we're reversing, we're backpedaling. We're censoring, we're grabbing people off the street because they look like they fit the description of someone who could be undocumented. I mean, my God, what are we doing? What are we doing? So I've been pretty mute on this subject, with this administration for a while because I've just kind of been sitting back and watching all this. But if you guys have suggestions, if you guys have any type of take on this, feel free to share it with me. I don't know what else to do. I can only use my voice here. If that's what I can do, then that's what I'll do. At Onyx Queen Media. If you want to connect, I'm on Instagram. Talk to you guys soon.